Welcome! Along with my weapon guide, which you can find a playlist for here, I will also be making videos on how to get the most out of your special weapon in Salmon Run. This video will cover the Inkjet, and I will share some advice that may help you when you're given this special. Like my other videos, the advice is on the general side, meaning that high-end tactics or overfishing won't be discussed here. If you watch this video and think, hey, I already knew this, or you're thinking, but did you know you can use this niche strategy that is only relevant in one specific situation? The chances are that I already vetoed that information and that you probably don't need the advice here. But anyway, welcome, let's crack on. Number 1. The Inkjet is probably considered the strongest all-round special weapon in Salmon Run. It provides height above threats, safety from lessers, freedom to move through flying, and most importantly, range to shoot down bosses from substantially far away. Number 2. The Inkjet in Salmon Run does 300 damage when you hit a direct shot. It does 100 damage per indirect shot. The exhaust of the Inkjet does 120 damage per second, meaning that you can combine both firing and trailing the exhaust over enemies below. The special also lasts roughly 7.5 seconds. The Inkjet is also unique in that it can cancel itself by diving into the water, which will send you back to your jump spot, useful if you need to end your Inkjet early after defeating a small cluster of bosses. You can also hover over the basket with the Inkjet, which can potentially help with luring or staying safe. Also, since patch 2.0, bosses will no longer be aggro to your landing spot, but still use caution when launching your Inkjet and take a second to consider it as, this can happen. Number 3. Direct hit as many bosses as you can. For steelheads, it's one hit. For stingers, it's one hit as long as you hit the middle. For flyfish, you can also one-shot them if you hit them in the middle, otherwise you can two-shot them with shots to each basket. For big shots, it's 4 direct hits, but hovering over them with the exhaust speeds this up. For fish sticks, you can one-shot them if you hit the top of the stick at the right angle. Failing that, it's 2 to 3 shots depending on the blast radius. For salmon lids, it's 2 shots. For drizzlers, it's 3 shots, but the exhaust damage can speed this up. For eels and scrappers, if their weak points are exposed, they are both 2 shots, but I would not recommend using an Inkjet solely for those bosses. Moors and flipper floppers both have 1200 HP, so I usually avoid targeting these as the Inkjet is better served elsewhere. For general use, the exhaust can help revive teammates and damage lessers underneath you. Let's talk about night waves quickly. Fog and Cohawk Charge have the same outcomes as regular waves. For mudmouths, one Inkjet direct shot acts as a bomb, so you can defeat mudmouths this way to speed up the process or cover for your teammates if they're struggling. For Mothership, the Inkjet can reach the top of the Mothership and catch spawning Chinooks if needed. For glowflies, be ready to launch up with the Inkjet if you notice your teammates struggling. The exhaust combined with your shots can turn around a game. Be careful with staying safe though, they can and will hit you from the ground. For grillers, it's ideal not to be targeted if you want to use Inkjet, as you'll struggle to hit the exposed tails. Other specials are generally better suited for this wave, but this can be used to stay alive or create space if needed. Aim for the grillers, not the small fry. For Goldie seeking, you can help with damage against the Goldie, and I recommend flying over it with the Inkjet so you can get a combination of direct hits and exhaust damage. For tornado waves, I would only advise using this if you need specials to help clear lessers. Number 4. Inkjet provides immediate relief and high power that can deal with most bosses. The exceptions here are Moors, multiple steel eels or scrappers, but for everything else the Inkjet can take care of them with relative ease. In Inkjet form, you fly above most enemies, which provides you with more safety than being on the ground, but it doesn't make you immune. You're still at risk of being damaged by Inkstorm, missiles, stingers, and if you're not high enough, steel eels, Moors and Cohawks. You can also get killed by flipper floppers, even if you think you didn't deserve to get killed. You need to move continuously whilst in Inkjet form to avoid stacking damage and dying, potentially rendering your Inkjet useless. Number 5. This goes for all specials, but it's worth mentioning here. Specials should not be used as panic buttons. When you panic use a special, you're not getting the most out of it, and you won't be killing as much as you could have been. But, and I'm going to say this because I know people will mention it if I don't say it, the Inkjet is probably the best panic special to have. If you find yourself last alive and you can't revive your teammates, or it's glowflies and your teammates are crumbling, the Inkjet can be used to protect you from wiping. But, and here's another but, you want to avoid getting to this point in the first place. Using your specials like this rarely resolves a snowball, but in fact likely prolongs an eventual loss or barely gets you back on track. Are you using your special as a panic button because all your teammates keep dying to the overwhelming static spam? Well, you should have used your Inkjet 10 seconds earlier then, because obviously the Inkjet is fantastic for groups of fly fish, stingers and even big shots altogether. Even using an Inkjet to take care of 3 steelheads that everybody else is ignoring is still a better use of an Inkjet than holding on to it just in case you think you're going to panic. Specials also grant you the ability to deal with bosses way more quicker than you likely would be able to with your main weapon, so using your special to quickly defeat 4 or 5 static bosses is hugely advantageous to the overall pace of the wave and allows your teammates to thrive. I would never consider the excuse of it's only wave 1 if I have the Inkjet special and 3 stingers and multiple flyfish and steelheads spawn in. Your Inkjet is perfect for this. If you don't use it then, what particular moment are you waiting for? If you think you need an Inkjet to manage static spam, then use it. And also, lastly, just as a PSA, if there's 10 seconds left and you haven't made quota, do not pop Inkjet in an attempt to run or collect eggs. It very rarely works and you're actually slower. It's probably the most egregious use of the Inkjet you could do and is tantamount to doing nothing. So don't do it. There's eggs here, guys! Stop spamming specials, run eggs, please! Thank God. I missed. Cool. I hope this video helps you with using the Inkjet. It genuinely is one of the best specials to have, so there can be a lot of pressure on you to deliver results when you get it. Good luck and let me know what you think. I will see you soon.